Hello YouTube, I am Bam Ramirez here, and I am super excited about something I got in the mail today, which, as you can see, is the brand new Aurora 68. I just got it in the mail. I wanted to do a quick unboxing, maybe look at some of the components and parts as I'm sitting here in front of you. And the reason I'm so excited about this one is because I bought it to mainly fly indoors. As I've mentioned in some of my other videos, I'm living in New York City right now, and flying outdoors can be kind of a pain unless you're willing to take some fairly decently long train rides out into the other boroughs or out in Long Island, etc. So here goes. I think when I saw this, it was the one I was most excited about for a lot of reasons. Primarily because it's one of the smallest bind and fly quadcopters that is brushless that you can get at the moment. It's just barely bigger than the Eachine E10, E010, and all of those other Inductrix clones. Later in the video, I'll show you a comparison between this one and the size of the other one. So let's get started. As you can see, we have here a little bit of information. It's an F3 flight controller. It comes pre-installed with Betaflight, and I believe it comes with version 3.1, but I'll have to verify that and double check. I'll put that in the description just so you know. It comes with an integrated OSD, and the camera comes with a VTX OSD combo, so it's an all-in-one camera, so that's kind of cool. And an LED strip, which I may or may not use, since I've heard that the FrSky versions of these Aurora models tend to struggle a little bit with the power consumption. So, looking around the box, there's other options. As you can see, FlySky, DSM-2, DSM-X. I got the FrSky version. Here you have the dimensions. So as you can tell, this is tiny. Even with the ducts, it's about as small as you can get with these, and I know they're coming up with smaller motors and stuff, but when I saw this, I think, you know, I was sold. I had considered getting the Aurora 90, I had considered getting some of the other sort of ones in that range, but this is amazing. The motor to motor is tiny, just everything. I mean, I guess, you know, I'm not sure why they measured it this way when in reality, as you know, you always measure on the diagonal. But if you know some math, you know how to get that from the right triangle that this makes, because it's not a stretched X, it's not a different kind of design, it's very symmetrical. Let's see, just some more here. So let's open it up. So I got here my trusty opener. Neat, I love this one. I love this little knife. It comes with a little multi-tool, so that's pretty cool. And let's open it up. So what do you get in the box? A pretty cool little manual. It already looks pretty nice. I mean, oftentimes you don't even get these with these. So it's got all the information. Tells you how everything is set up in terms of soldered. So in case you want to replace the receiver, you can do that. It tells you a little bit more about the ESCs, the pinouts, all that stuff. So that's pretty neat. Here's some more info. The frequency sheet. It has, I believe, 40 frequencies in the camera, so that's kind of cool. Maybe more. Let's see. No, it is 40. Okay. And sorry again, this is my first time opening this, so I'm seeing it for the first time just like you guys. I've heard a couple things, I've seen reviews about the ESCs, etc. I'll probably talk about that a little bit later as I'm looking at the actual craft. It's got a buzzer, so that's kind of cool. A binding button for the all that stuff. It comes preloaded with some flight modes. That's kind of cool. And yeah, I mean, sorry I'm taking so much time looking at this, and I'm not going to look at the other ones because they're not relevant to me, but it's got information about the OSD, which is the Betaflight OSD, which I know that a lot of people really love. You know, some people don't like, but I like it. So that's the manual. I wanted to spend a little bit of time on it because I think if you don't have one, it might be nice for you to look at it so you know that it's got the information you need if you've never flown one of these before. So in the box, you also get a screwdriver and an Allen key. And I believe these two are the only things you need to do any maintenance on this copter, so that's kind of cool, other than a soldering iron, which obviously they're not going to include. But you have this so you can change the props with the Allen key, and everything else I think is done with a screwdriver, so that's pretty cool. Extra props, I heard these are very brittle, so I've already ordered some extras and should be coming in to me soon. But the orange is different. I kind of like the red. I wish they had stuck with the red like they did with the Aurora 90, but I like this. And let's see, we'll see that for last. You also get one of these USB cords with a special little adapter so that you can, I'm sorry about my fingers, I just had a lot of travel and I've been cleaning because I have some visitors, so I apologize. I know that a lot of people don't like to see hands that are not perfectly manicured. My wife is one of them. So in any case, this is an awesome little connector. It makes it easier because it's much more flexible than if it had a USB at the end, since you'll see how tight things are in there. So you get one of those, and I believe you also get a smaller one like this. That's the other little connector in case you want to use an even longer USB. So it's a USB to, I forget if these are the JST1. Yeah, JST 1mm, I think. JST, I think SH, I believe the connectors are called. In any case, you also get one of these, an awesome little battery with a 30 rating for continuous, I believe. And I believe usually what ends up happening with these is that if the 30 is the continuous, the burst is usually about 60C. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's usually how they make these work out. So it's a very tiny battery. I'll do a weight on this so you know exactly how much it weighs, but this is amazing. I think getting these 2S batteries and this sort of tiny sizes with the JST connectors, so you have plenty of juice. And I know some people have gotten brownouts with the Aurora series in the past, but I'm hoping this one doesn't have that since I haven't owned one of the Auroras in the past. Going on, now this is what I'm super excited about. Oh, so you also get a couple of, Velcro, Velcro tape. I believe it's for the battery, so in case you want to make it more secure, you put one end here, you put the other end there, and you can put it to the bottom of the quadcopter. But this is what I'm excited about. Oh, and lots of little rubber bands. This one was shredded, so that one's not going to be helpful. But you get some rubber bands, and I believe these are so you can hold the battery to the bottom. I'll show you how that works. And you can see it here. At least I got 5 and a part of another. So I got 5 of these batteries battery holder rubber bands, and this is what I'm super excited about. Oh my god, look at this thing. It's amazing. It is solid. It feels strong. It's not very heavy. I'll weigh it for you guys. But it looks amazing. Holy smokes. I'm so excited about this. So I'm gonna go grab my scale and I'll be right back so I can weigh some of this stuff for you and then talk a little bit more about the components. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back, and the first thing I want to do is let's get my scale out. I know it's always a pain in the butt to show this on screen, but I'll try my best. So hopefully you can see there, the battery by itself is right around 23 grams. Not sure if there's a lot of weight you could shave off, maybe taking off that tiny sticker, but I don't think it matters. I think it's gonna be what it is. And then the craft, which I'm hoping I can get without interference. Let's see, am I getting it? Let me try one thing. Let's put that through here for a second. And what I'm getting is 51.1, which is pretty amazing, I think. So together, you can always add it up, but to make your life easier, let's see. Should have really used my bigger scale. In any case, mine is reading at 74 grams, or right there about, which is not bad at all. I mean, this is a brushless quadcopter. So 73 with those motors, it's gonna be a little beast. I am so excited. All right, so going through and going on with the components, and obviously like you can take the little cap off, which weighs a very negligible amount, but if you want to subtract that from my overall measurements, go ahead. In any case, as I mentioned, looking at the components, it comes with these really amazing milled carbon fiber ducts, and they're not true ducts in the sense that like they don't have a lip, and they're not necessarily too close to the propellers, so it's not necessarily gonna help out when it comes to creating extra lift in terms of using the ducts for that reason. And I think a lot of people like have this this idea that like just because they're ducted, it's gonna really have that sort of Inductrix style boost to at least upward thrust. But I don't think these actually do that, just because they're not constructed in the same way. These are mostly, I think in my opinion, prop guards more than anything, and they really more so allow you to fly this indoors than they do in terms of adding thrust, I should say. That said, I know they still create some kind of funky effect when it comes to drag. So I know a lot of people have had issues with these sort of ducted fan style things, where if they're coming in and after a turn or after dropping some, the quadcopter will jerk back, and I think that just has to do with the drag on this in the back doing that. It's just my theory. I obviously haven't put this in a wind tunnel to test it out, but it's a little bit different than it is with true ducted fans, which I think have that effect to a greater degree, and really they're trying to force air just down, not necessarily that way. So you'll have, I think, more of that effect with those than with these. I think this is just, again, catching the drag in the back and up here and trying to correct itself so that it has the least drag coefficient going this way, so going that way. So again, these aren't quite ducted. I think these are just propeller guards, really, to me. Going again, I mentioned I was going to show you a comparison in size. Now, this is your traditional Tiny-Whoop style quadcopter, and you can see right here, that's amazing. Look how close these are in size. I mean, this is tiny. I think it looks big just because how I'm holding it, but look at this. This fits just within my fingers. I mean, this is tiny. This is not that much bigger. I mean, the ducts make it feel a little bit bigger, but again, it's really, really, in terms of size, just amazing what they've been able to do with this technology. And I can't wait until it keeps getting even more insane. Now, I've mentioned that I made these mods, and there's another video I have for the mods for this. I recommend you checking it out because I think this is a beast, and this is currently my favorite quadcopter, the Eachine E010S. Highly recommend it. Really just a blast. And modding it so that it has, sort of a lower profile like I have here, really, to me, turns it into an even more fun little toy that you can fly indoors, do some tricks, and have just a ton of fun because it's inexpensive and doesn't weigh anything. I think this one weighs 19 grams without a battery, so as much as this is about as light as I've seen with a lot of these quadcopters in terms of brushless. I mean, sorry, yeah, brushless. This brushed one is just that much lighter, so it's a beast. 59,000 RPM motors. I just love it. So I'll stop talking about this because this is not about this one. Going back to this, and sorry this is going to be a longer video than usual, but I'm super excited about this one, and I wanted to really touch on all of the different components in detail. So here you can see the motors. They're 11,500 kV motors, and they're Eachine branded. They're not the smoothest. You can tell already they're not the smoothest. But for what they are, you know, they're not going to have super fancy magnets or all that other technology. But you know, I'm not really complaining. Yeah, they're not super smooth. I'm not really complaining. These little components here are plastic, so they went away with the aluminum standouts that they had on the 90, which I think is a good idea because I'm sure the aluminum is durable, but it adds weight. It doesn't really add a ton of structural support because the ducts and everything else really is what provides the structure. So I'm kind of glad they did that. These are four-bladed propellers, as you can see. It's kind of obvious for me to talk about it, but I've heard these are fragile, like I said, so I ordered some more. I think these are, I'm not going to get it wrong, but I think it's 1530, if I'm not mistaken. 15 in size, 30 in pitch. Again, if I'm not mistaken, which I might be. Might have to put something better in the description if I get it right. Now, the camera is I believe it's the same one as the Aurora 90, which I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's pretty secure compared to the 90 from what I've seen in other videos. Again, I don't own it. It's got the 2 buttons, as you can see. The front one is for changing the band, and also for, changing band? I know it's for changing the PAL versus NSTC outlook. I know that for sure. So I'm not entirely sure if it's for the band. I think it might be. And then you have the back one, which is definitely for changing the channel. There's 40 channels. There's this LED, which I've seen videos of it, which is apparently really cool. I'd have to separate the flight video from this video because I don't want this to be too long, and it's already way longer than I expected it to be. So look out for the flight video in the next installment. This one might just be the overview, and then I'll do my review at the end of the flight video. And now, in terms of other components, you got the FD800, I believe, S-Bus receiver here. It's a tiny receiver. The bind button is kind of down there, so it's a little bit hard to get to, but you might have to use a little toothpick or something to get in there to bind it the first time. Once you've found it, you're good. And let me see. So let me see. You have the F3 flight controller down there, which you can see, and that one is stacked right above the ESCs. And as you can see, the ESCs are these tiny 10 amp ESCs, 4-in-1, and the soldering on these doesn't look great. I mean, that's very little solder on a very tiny wire. I might recommend, hopefully you can see it, sorry, just bumped the camera. Hopefully you can see it. I might recommend putting some hot glue or some liquid electrical tape over those. Probably not liquid electrical tape, that's kind of a pain to get off once you need to change them if you burn out a motor or you want to replace components. But at least some hot glue to prevent it from breaking, because I feel like those are kind of weak points. It's the same on the other side with the other motors. What else? Yes, so the 2 boards, which one is a flight controller and the other the ESCs, are stacked, and they're not vibration isolated, so I'm not entirely sure there's a lot of room in there to make adjustments. But so as I was saying, sorry I got cut off in the other video because I guess I reached the limit for my memory card. But as I was saying, so as you can see, the components that are sandwiched in there, the flight controller and the ESCs are pretty tightly put in there, and there's not a lot of room to add any sort of dampening for vibrations to isolate and soft mount the components. You might be wondering why I'm talking about that. Well, there's a really great video by Joshua Bardwell. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Joshua, sorry if I'm not. Not that I should speak about you in first name basis since I've never met you, but you're awesome, dude. If you happen to ever see this, I just wanted to give you a shout out. Joshua Bradwell, check out his channel. Bradwell, I'm sorry. Check out his channel. I'll link it in the description. He's amazing. He really does an amazing job at explaining all this stuff in great detail if you ever want to learn more about the hobby. But in any case, he just made a really great video about why you should try to isolate vibrations and soft mount your flight controller nowadays, because these flight controllers are so great and fly so well that vibrations add up and you don't want it to affect your flight. I've heard that with some of these ducted quadcopters, that is a factor because they're kind of rigid and the motors are so tiny and vibrating at such a high speed that I've heard of a lot of drift issues and stuff with these smaller quads. So I want to make a shout out so that you have a chance to do that. And you know, if there's any way for you to isolate these components, I'm gonna try, see what I can find, see what I can do. Might just be some foam that might not actually do anything, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I've also heard of a lot of success coming from soft mounting your motors. Now these are again tiny motors, but it doesn't hurt to try. So I'm gonna try to soft mount those, and I'm not sure what that is in there. I'll have to check that out. And it might be something, huh? I don't know if you can see that. That's weird. It's weird right there in the motor. All right, oh, that one does it too. Oh, maybe it's just a. Maybe it's just that's just the coiling. I think I'm worrying for no reason. In any case, I've already been talking for too long, so I just wanted to say I'm looking forward to flying this. I have a lot of other quadcopters that I've used these little micro receivers, and I haven't gotten the best range, so I'm gonna try to see what I can do to extend the range for this one before having to change that receiver for something else. Because hopefully I'm going to try to fly this stock as is with maybe just some tuning in beta flight. Alright, so that has been the overview unboxing for this. It comes with all this stuff, as I've already shown you. It's pretty exciting. It's tiny. It rivals in size this little beast. So I'm excited. I'm going to set it up, do a flight, post another video with that flight. Sorry this was so long. Hopefully this helps you. I'm trying to show everything in a lot of detail so that you can decide whether or not this is something you like. I'm going to put the link to it in my description, along with a link to some other videos. Alright guys, I missed something in my last bit of video, so I wanted to make a quick addendum so that I didn't miss anything in the overview that was critical. And the one thing I missed that I think is really critical is that I forgot to mention that although it does come with a battery, it does not come with a battery charger. So just be careful of that because unless you have a hobby grade charger, like buy a charger separately, this is a 2-cell battery, so it's worth always balancing it so that it lasts longer and you don't run into any overcharge or discharge on any single cell. So it does come with a balance lead. They sell cheapo little balance chargers. I'll link to one of those in my description. But I really, recommend that if you're starting to go into the hobby, getting something that's like a, to a squad like this one, that you might as well just go ahead and, you know, cough up the money for a real hobby grade charger. I will link to the one I use in the description. It's probably the lowest end one you can get, but it's worked out for me for the last 2 years, so I've never really seen a reason to upgrade. The last other thing that I missed is that the camera angle can be adjusted. So if you look at it, it's pretty aggressive right now, tilted, I don't know, 35 degrees maybe, a little bit less. And you can adjust it so that it's pretty much perpendicular. So that's cool in case you don't want to fly too fast. If you're flying this indoors in angle mode instead of acro, you might want to have that camera angle adjustable, and you can adjust it using just the little Allen screw that they provide. Alright, so that was all I wanted to say. I didn't want to miss that because I didn't want people to be like, hey, I ordered it and you didn't tell me there was a charger needed. So that's that. The other thing, I've heard the battery only lasts about 3 minutes, so you might want to order more of these. And I know that currently they're out of stock on Banggood, but there are a few other batteries that are roughly of this size, roughly this weight, and roughly this discharge rate. This one, like you saw, was right around 18-20 grams. And I think there's a couple that I use that are about that have JST connectors and balance leads. So I will link that in my description as well, so that you can get those if you need them while those come back in stock. The Eachine 90 battery is a little bit too heavy. I think it's 30 grams. So I've heard from other folks that it's just a little bit too heavy for this to fly well, or like having to carry that around, gonna overheat the motors, ESCs, etc. So for your support, I'm super excited about this this channel growing, and you guys have been awesome. I've gotten lots of questions already. If you have any questions, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment. I've been trying to answer pretty much everything I've been asked to the best of my abilities. And really, thank you guys. I mean, this is a hobby for me. I've been doing it for a while. I've just recently been uploading videos related to the hobby, which is quadcopter flying, or RC in general. But I've gotten such a great response from you guys, and you know, everything helps. In the links that you'll see down there, I'm totally upfront about it. Those are my affiliate links with Banggood, and I'm not trying to just sell Banggood all the time and all that stuff. It's just the one that I happen to order from the most, mostly because I'm not super wealthy, so like any little bit counts, and I know that a lot of the stuff they use is cloned and stuff, so I feel bad because it makes me feel a little bit like a pirate to be, you know, helping cloning and stuff, but right now, for now, it's all I can afford, and I'm picky about what I get, and since I can't fly as much as I would like, I've been trying to just, you know, keep to these sort of small things. So as you've seen, my channel's mostly these sort of Tiny-Whoop style sized quadcopters. I'm going to try to do another video, which is going to be a build vlog for another one of these little guys. I picked the components myself and all that stuff, but that's going to be coming in the near future. I have some friends coming this week, so just want to make a quick couple videos about this one, because this one I've been looking forward to for a long time. And then you'll see the build vlog probably in the next few weeks. If you have any questions, like I said, just comment and I'll respond. And just thank you guys. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so as you can see, this is where this goes here, and it's pretty, it's always when it's on camera, it's the hardest to do, but it is, I have seen, easy to plug that in right there and get going to adjust any of the beta flight characteristics. All right, thank you guys, and look forward to my videos and all that. Thanks again. Happy flying, all that good stuff. Bye.